Hey, Mike Phillips here, back for the third unboxing video and also showing this tool in action. Now the part number here, I never like part numbers. What do they call this thing? The FX3321. And that's the part number for the tool. If you want it in a kit form with the battery charger and the batteries, then it's FX3321-2C. So this is the 2C, this is the kit form. And just a little Flex history. When Flex introduced this as another prototype, I was sent to test for, I don't know, 5 or 6 months before it went live. And before they launched it, they actually had a contest on a forum I used to post a lot of how-to articles to. And the contest was to give this tool a nickname because it's just no fun to refer to tools by their part number. I officially am credited for naming the Beast, the Sea Beast, the Pixie, but I did not name this tool. This actually was named by a forum member, and they picked the name he chose, which was the Finisher. And I'll try to remember to say something about that in a second. So anyways, I opened the box. Here we go. You've got this really nice, sturdy tool carrying case. Nice, matches the tool. It's gray and black with some green accents. You've got the owner's manual for the tool with the wrench, flex sticker. Here is the owner's manual for the battery charger. Won't need that. Okay, so now this is interesting. For the last video, I've discovered that the new Sea Beast comes from the factory with a 6-inch backing plate, because in the past it came with a 5-inch. So maybe the people at Flex have been listening to me drone on and on or reading my articles talking about why not to go ahead and just put the bigger backing plate on and take advantage of the power. This one comes with both backing plates. It comes already with the 6-inch attached, but if you want to go smaller, there is a 5-inch backing plate. So what else we got here? Okay, here's the battery charger, and this is the fast battery charger, 160 watts, but they do make, I think it's a 550 watt, and that'll charge that battery a heck of a lot faster, but this would be good for an enthusiast, get you going. Okay, then 2 batteries. There's 2 of the same 5-amp batteries. If you watched the previous video, you watched me use this exact battery the first time it was ever used after full charge, and I went 21 minutes without stoppage using the new 24-volt Sea Beast. And as I explained in that video, that tool, because of the gear-driven nature of it, it's a real energy hog. It just really will drain down the batteries. So getting 20 minutes out of the Sea Beast, to me, that was good. With the Finisher, you probably go a little bit longer because this is just not going to tax the battery as much as a gear-driven tool like the Beast, Sea Beast, or the Rotary. Okay, so here is the tool. Owner's manual for the tool. Battery charger, 2 5-amp batteries, and again, these just come with 1 bars lit up, so they come with a minimal charge. It's your job to hook this all up and get them charged. 5-inch backing plate, 6-inch backing plate, and again, this is kind of a nice touch. They imprinted or embedded the number 15 into here, and that just makes it easy for you to visually identify this is a 15 and it's millimeter, 15 millimeter free spinning, so free spinning. There's nothing gear-driven about this. It's a free spinning random orbital polisher. Just like the other 2 tools I reviewed, the 24-volt Flex Rotary, the 24-volt Sea Beast, this has the ergonomic rubber overmold, so it's easy to grip and hold on to. It's got the tool rest, so if you go to lay it down, it won't tip over like some tools do because there's no flat spot on the back of them. It has the nice big soft start trigger. Nice power lock button right there, easy to get to, lock it in. I've used some tools which just really, something's wrong inside there. They don't lock up easy. It's got the oversized speed dial and the large print lettering to tell you what speed you're on, so it's easy to see. There is a speed guide up here that tells you what OPM you're gonna be at for the different speed settings. Something I think I forgot to point out is these have stainless steel grill vents here, and that's because as the tool is running, there's a fan up here attached to the motor that pulls air through the battery, then through the tool, so it keeps the battery cool and the tool cool. And that's true for all the Flex polishers, even the old maroon ones. So there you go, there it is. It's lightweight, nice fit and finish. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go ahead, I've already got another 5-amp battery charged up. So these will take, I think I did a test. It took 45 minutes to charge one. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw another battery I have in here, but it's the same battery, it's fully charged. I'm gonna switch over to the Dr. Beasley's NSP 45, which is a fine cut finishing polish. And I'm going to switch over to the Buff and Shine black edge guard 6-inch foam finishing pad. And I'm just going to do like I did in the last video. I will set my clock so it's straight up noon, and we'll just run this thing over there until the battery dies. So stay tuned while I get this thing set up and ready to go. So this battery is fully charged. Let me just go ahead and press the back button here on the back. 4 bars. So fully charged battery. And before I get started, I'm going to set that thing to noon straight up. We have power. When I was shooting the unboxing video, one of the things that I said I was going to mention was the name, the Finisher. So the Beast is a gear-driven orbital. It's got a lot of power because it's gear-driven. The Finisher is free spinning, and Flex chose the name Finisher, as was one in the contest to name the tool, because that's kind of what this type of tool excels at. It excels at finishing. It's not really the heavy-duty correction buffer. It's the finishing polisher. And not only is that true for the Flex 15mm free spinning random orbital polisher, it's kind of true for all random orbital polishers, okay? They're, at least for me, the long strokes, they tend to be better for finishing than doing heavy-duty correction, but however you want to find your way to get to shiny, that's all that's important to me. Okay, so earlier I was also talking about the different size backing plates. Let me show you this. So I'm really happy to say that the new Finisher and the new Sea Beast come with the 6-inch backing plate. The Finisher also comes with an optional 5-inch backing plate. And what I've always said since these tools were introduced was to get rid of the little guy one, unless you need it for like thin panels, and go ahead and put the larger backing plate on, because then you can turn and churn larger pads. And let me show you the difference in the pad sizes. This is a 6-inch. It's actually 7-inch. It's called a 6-inch, but the diameter is 7-inch. This is called a 5-inch and the diameter is 6-inch. But look at the difference, okay? So much more of a footprint over here. So my point being about these types of tools, at least when it comes to the Sea Beast, you know, use the larger backing plate, use larger pads, and you'll have a bigger footprint. You can tackle more surface area as you're working around the car. When it comes to the Finisher, it's probably less important. It's just that, you know, if you're doing the kind of work that requires a finishing tool, you might as well throw the bigger pad on there and use the larger backing plate that already comes with it from the factory. Okay, so we've got that ready to go. And this, by the way, is just the Buff and Shine black foam finishing pad. It's the Edge Guard. Really nice pads by Buff and Shine. Okay, let me set this up. And what I'm going to do, because I've already done all the hard work to the driver's side of this hood. So I sanded it, I compounded it with a wool pad and a rotary, and then I took the Sea Beast, removed all my holograms. So all I'm doing now is I'm just doing finishing work. I'm trying to maximize gloss and clarity and get this thing ready for ceramic coating. And then also I'm going to pull it outside and do it before and after with full sun. Sun just tends to show swirls and scratches better than LEDs and artificial lights. Okay. Okay, that's pretty close. It's about a minute till, so I'll ramble on until it gets to where we need it to be. But anyway, my point being is here's what I'm going to do. We got a fully charged battery. I'm going to be using the Dr. Beasley's NSP45, which is a light finishing polish. And I'm just going to polish out this hood until the battery dies. And we'll see how long it goes. Now, with the Sea Beast, it went about 21 minutes. And that was pushing hard. And that's probably the hardest type of tool, the gear-driven orbital, for a battery to maintain pad rotation. But with a free spinning tool, it's a lot less draining. So I do expect to get more time out of it, but hey, we'll find out. So we're coming right up there on the top of the hour there. And I'm gonna turn this on and you get to watch paint dry. There we go, noon straight up. So I'm on the 3 setting. The tool is very, very smooth, very easy to control, which is normal for any free spinning random orbital polisher. Okay, it's because there's slippage, it doesn't really ever fight you. A lot of times people use a tool like the Beast or the Sea Beast and say, I don't like the way it pulls me around. Well, what you're saying is you don't like all that power, okay? Because free spinning tools don't do that because they don't have the same kind of power. So that's why a tool like this is a lot easier on you, your hands, your body, everything, because it's got a lot of slippage or pad stalling going on. Okay, so I just spread my product out here. I'm gonna do the same type of section passes, same size areas, but I am gonna bump this. We'll try the 5. I wanna see good pad rotation. One. 2. 3. 4. 5. I'm going to go ahead and bring this all the way up to the 6. We're going to test this thing. So smooth. There's 6. There's 7. There's 8. Need to get this little section back here. Let's get 1 drop of product here. It's actually maintaining really good pad rotation, considering I'm going into a curve and a thinner panel here with raised body lines. So that little bit of pressure, a lot of times will stall a pad out. That's why I typically don't use tools like this. I just don't got time for pad stalling. Okay. Call that good. So concentrated product just takes a few small drops. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8 solid section passes. And the reason I always like to count my passes out loud, just 1 little drop there, is it takes a certain amount of passes to reach the results that you're trying to achieve. And usually like 1 pass isn't going to do it. Maybe 2 or 3 might do it, might not. So you always dial this in during the test spot. But as a general rule of thumb, I just find anywhere from a range of 6 to 10 section passes, depending on the depth of the scratches or what you're trying to do, is just a good idea. But once I dial in how many sections it takes for me to get to where I want the paint to be, if I don't count my section passes out loud, I forget where I'm at. And then I always add a few. And when you add a few, you extrapolate that out over the whole car, you probably add an hour of buffing time. So that's why I always count my section passes out loud. And I teach that in all my classes too. Okay, so this little section here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm going to come up and work this little front part here by the emblem. See that fast transition? Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we'll do the outer edge of the hood. Let's go to 2 drops for this. Okay, that's spreading out, so here's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. I'm going to come up here and give the front lip here a little bit of love. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And anytime I'm working a long thin panel, instead of doing 8 crosshatch passes, I tend to do anywhere from 8 to maybe 12 linear passes, you know, so you give it just as much of attention as you would the larger sections out here if there was a larger section. Okay. Okay, so we've done the entire top section or portion of the hood battery test. We got 3 bars still. I knew this battery would last longer with this type of tool. And I just want to point that out because I know some of you guys, that might just be new information to you, that the type of drive that you're trying to run can affect the battery drain. And just anything that's gear driven is going to require more power to maintain the same amount of OPMs and RPMs as something that's free spinning. Okay, we'll just keep going. Okay, so I've done the top of the fender, both these planes here, battery tests. We're down to 2 bars. So I'm going to come up here, now that I'm done doing all the hard work with the powerful tools. I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to clean up this area up here. I'm going to kind of take these little dots here and just kind of break them in. The reason I do that is I want to buff over this fresh air grill, but I don't want to load it up with little white splatter dots. You know, whenever I go to a car show and I got muscles cars that have these fresh air grills like this, I always walk around and look to see if the other guy was smart enough to tape that off, and usually not. You can see splatter dots everywhere. As I look down here, there's nothing there, and I'm not going to be the guy that adds any. Okay, so knocked out that, knocked out that. I'm not going to do the A pillar right now because looks like I left some NSP 150 up there. I'll come back and clean that up. Okay, so at this point, there's 2 bars and we are right at 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and run this to the battery dies. Now, I may edit this portion out or speed it up, but I wanted this to be very real world, and I wanted to document with the clock how long the battery lasted. So I might not edit it out. If you don't got the patience to watch it, then fast forward to the end. But at this point right now, I can see from the look of the paint that it looks absolutely beautiful. And that was the goal. This is a show car. So if you were to go to a local car show or cruise in, this is the kind of car you would probably see there on display. And this thing arrived with horrible holograms. And so my goal is just to try to get it as nice as I can so the owner doesn't have to repaint it, because this paint was really bad when it got here. I like these types of tools because they're just so easy to operate. But I am kind of a gear-driven orbital, and I am a rotary guy. And all I can really say about that is everybody has their own style for detailing, okay? So my style is, I'll turn this off for a second. The way I explain it to people is like this. It takes a long time to go from start to finish to detail an entire car, passenger car. We're talking about washing the car, washing the wheels and tires, claying the paint, doing any paint correction, and then sealing it. In this case, I got to do a vinyl top and then dressing the tires. I mean, just the outside of the car can take anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. So the way I look at it is, why would I want to do it in any way that takes longer? And I don't. So that's why you always see me using a rotary for fast defect removal, and then a gear-driven orbital like the Beast to remove the holograms left by the rotary and to perfect the finish and get it to where I can get the ceramic coating or a wax, whatever the customer wants, get it going so I can go home at some point. Anytime you use a free spinning tool, and I hate to do this, but if I tilt this, the pad quits rotating. And when the pad quits rotating, for the most part, you're not really doing anything. I know I have friends and peers and experts in the industry that say, hey Mike, you don't need pad rotation or pad oscillation to remove defects. And that might be true, but I'll tell you one thing, it's gonna take a lot longer if all that pad is doing is vibrating against the paint. So for me, in my time, I just want to make sure I got good pad rotation and really good pad oscillation. And that's why you do always see me using the Beast. And out of all the Beasts, the 3 different versions, the original Beast, excuse me, the original Beast, the Super Beast, and then the cordless Beast, the C Beast, I almost always grab the original. It has the most OPM, the most RPM, so it is the fastest tool. I run it at 6. If the speed dial went to 7, I'd put it on 7. Excuse me. Been doing this all day, getting a dry throat. Okay, and again, since I already did polish this, I'm just doing this now just to run this thing until we run out the clock and the battery dies. Very well balanced. Okay, we're coming up on the 20-minute mark, battery runtime, which is the same as the Sea Beast. I was pushing a lot harder on the Sea Beast though. Okay, we are now past the 20-minute mark. There's 1 bar left. This could go on for another 10 minutes. We'll see. NSP45, it never really dries up. Doesn't really get dusty either. It's a great finishing polish. It works great on really soft paints. If you're ever working on that GM black and the products that you're using just are leaving micro marring, and that's what happens with soft paint, give the NSP45 a try. I know you'll be impressed. Going on 25 minutes. Okay, going past 25 minutes. I'm not really sure how else you could quantify how long a battery lasts unless you do something like this. Run it until it dies. Okay, we got the flashing 4 bars there. That means this battery's cooked, it's dead. A lot of times you pull these out. Sometimes we get it to fire up again. But it's really dead battery. We're completely dead. Okay, so let's take a look at the clock. And we are at 26 minutes. 26 minutes. And one thing I really need to stress here is in the real world, nobody buffs straight like that. You buff out a section, you stop, you wipe off. Okay, every time you stop, answer the phone, get a drink, wipe off product like this, you're not draining the battery. So you would feel like you're getting a lot more time. But if you were to just run that polisher solid, as I just demonstrated, you got 25 minutes of solid running time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and finish this part out here, just wipe this off. I am gonna ceramic coat this with the Dr. Beasley's Nano Resin MX coating, but I still have the whole rest of the car to do, so I'm not gonna coat it till I'm done. I will pull this outside tomorrow around 11 a.m. Sun will be high overhead, and I'm gonna take my camera and go back and forth so you can see the before and after difference, because I've got that video that where this hasn't been touched yet and it don't look good. And keep in mind, if you see this video before SEMA, which starts on Tuesday, November 5th, I will be in the Flex booth. We will have all the new 24-volt tools there. I'll also have the Dr. Beasley's NSP primers and a brand new product we're launching called Gloss Builder. So come around, say hi, check out the tools, check out the products, check out the new product, and of course have a great time at SEMA. Okay, okay, so let me go ahead and grab my camera, come down here and get a good before and after. So that battery died right about 20, I think it was 26 minutes. So it's been a couple more minutes since then. Let me grab my trusty, dusty stroll finder light. As I always like to say, I like to start out at the before, show the ugly. Always do this if you're doing demonstrations live. Start with the ugly. Now let's come over here and look at the after. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. I'll throw a stroll finder light on there too. So stroll finder light, not that we need it, but yeah, she's pretty ugly. We'll come over here and look at swirl free, crystal clear, single stage, deep red, wet looking paint. Okay, so that was the Flex finisher. So 15 millimeter, you can see it embossed into the rubber overmold. NSP 45, and that was a Buff and Shine Edge Guard black foam finishing pad. This side of the hood and the top of that fender are ready to put the ceramic coating on. But again, I'm not gonna do that till I finish the whole car. So there you go. There is my box opening and showing you what the tool looks like. Just to be honest, I'm not a big fan of free spinning random orbital polishers. A lot of times I'd use the Porter cable. But I know a lot of people do like that tool because it's very smooth and they're not detailing cars like I'm detailing that really need a lot of heavy paint correction. So this may be the perfect tool for you. The Flex 24-volt finisher. Here are the before and after results after torture testing all three of the new 24-volt Flex cordless polishers. So this is a 1970 Pontiac Grand Prix special edition SJ model. And here are the after results. So you can see all the holograms, 100% absolutely removed. So I finished every body panel on here, so here's just a little after video. So I already showed an after video for the driver's side of the hood. Compared to how it came here, it looks amazing. And here's the passenger side. Remember, there was some kind of funky thing going on out there in the middle of the hood. I didn't get 100% of whatever was going on out, but it's so close you can only see it in really good lights. Anyway, really cool car. 1970 Pontiac SJ edition, and she is ready to go back to the owner.